Happy Hump Day. Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks Podcast. Jay Zawaski here with Greg Boysen and Mario Tirabassi. We've got Law here, as usual,
Hello.
as typical, wearing his Hawaii 84 shirt. What is the significance of 1984 in Hawaii? Why does everyone have that shirt?
Well, I was.
Is that when it was
there.
became a state?
I don't know.
No, I this shirt is actually like an original. This is from 1984. I don't know. I was there, and my aunt used to work for United, so I was there in '82, and I thought I was there in '85, but this was found in my uncle's house as we were cleaning it out. So. Sorry,
There's no way in hell I'd be able to wear a shirt that I fit in 1984 today.
I wouldn't think
Zero.
so, no.
Zero
There you
chance.
go.
Yeah.
Well, someone's got to know.
So this is OG though. This is like literally a 40-year-old shirt, and it fit me perfectly. It had this like the little sticker on it, like made in Hawaii, whatever. So it's,
I'm surprised it's not faded more. If it's
well, it was no. This was literally never worn, found in a drawer as we were cleaning out his place. I found all kinds of random old school shit. So
interesting.
I got a cool Bears crew neck.
We'll have to have a fashion show someday. Doesn't answer the question, though. What is the significance of 84 in Hawaii? Someone's got to know.
I had an 82 one. When I was there,
Okay.
mine was like the old mesh. Remember the mesh?
Oh, yeah, sure.
With like,
yeah, mesh T-shirts.
Yeah,
I heard those are hot in clubs.
and I wish I still had that one because I wonder if that still fits. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, there's no way to know. All right. Well, thanks for being with us. We've got a lot to get to today. A lot of people in the chat already mentioning rest in peace, Cap Friendly. We're going to get to that today.
Dead.
It is officially defunct. Thank you, Washington Capitals.
Hit the like button for the end of Cap Friendly.
Hit the like button if you hate the Washington Capitals for taking Cap Friendly away from us. Or if you're glad it's gone, hit the like button. We just want you to hit the like button and hit the subscribe button as well. We would appreciate that.
Good riddance to you, useful resource.
Maybe it's the Puckpedia people are like, hey.
I hate
like
being informed.
Right,
I don't have time
exactly.
for that.
You know who's real happy? Gary Bettman.
Yeah, we don't like our fans knowing stuff or talking
base,
about it. Or
there's no appetite for knowing contracts and stuff.
Yeah, we're going to tell you there's a salary cap, but we're going to have you don't need to know how close your team is. To
it's a salary cap.
And we proved yesterday how good at math we all are. So
right.
The spot track or spot track, whatever that's called, that I use that for like NBA. Does it
yeah.
still work for NHL?
That's
Puckpedia
kind of
is the way to go.
Somebody's going to
Puckpedia,
put in some resources and make it
shout out
CHGO
Puckpedia.
friendly?
We've been trying to get Steven to make websites for us for years now.
Yeah.
He was trying to make a tankathon
that the Hawks always win.
So he's backloaded on websites he's got to create. So
no, I think Puckpedia is
they've ramped up all their features.
They have, and they're going. I'm sure they're going to expand and, get some new.
They seem like the next in the line.
Yeah, you gotta remember there was General Fanager, there was Cap Geek,
yeah,
and then Cap Friend. Like it seems every 5 years it goes away and something replaces it. So
shout out Puckpedia for the next 10 years, and then you'll be bought by an NHL team.
The NHL could just make this information public. I don't know why they don't.
If they did it, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, it would.
They can make the information public, give it to someone who knows what to do with it, and provide.
Fair enough.
Just provide the information to a website so they could do it.
Well, we'll get to Cap Friendly a little bit later in the show, but we have two more mailbag questions from this week, and they are both similar. So that's where we want to start. So why don't we fire these mailbag questions up?
Sure, let's fire up the old mailbag on a Wednesday here. We'll start with...
Let's do them back to back.
Yes, okay. So this first one is from old Sneaky Pete.
Sneaking his question in again.
Let's talk about this new network again. I was hoping to hear more by now. Hog Games, ? Will they hire Charlie? Would be ashamed to lose him as a Hawks beat writer. And then the following question was from at Vega Rover, who asks, what do you think of the Dallas Stars' new streaming service where fans can watch games for free? And do you think that will be a possibility for the Hawks?
Okay, good questions. Let's start with the first one. I'm not sure what the future holds for Charlie and Pat and all the people at NBC Sports Chicago, but let me just say, as someone who I know the Hawks listen to our show every now and again, letting Charlie go would be a massive mistake. And I don't think that I don't think they're going to. I would hope not. I know when you are launching a network from scratch, you have 15 million little things to do, little corners to tighten up and all those sort of things. So maybe this is low on their totem pole of priorities. But you also don't want your talent sitting out there dangling, not knowing what's going on. And maybe they start looking for work elsewhere. I think bringing Charlie back, the fans really like him. He's plugged in. He's a valuable member of the beat. So I hope that he is brought back for sure.
Good beard.
And I'm not speaking, on his behalf or anything like that. I've just really grown to like him personally and like his coverage very much. And he does a really good job. So hopefully the Hawks are just going to check that box when they get there. But you don't want to wait too long when these guys might start to get worried. Yeah. Because October's not that far away. They might try to find something else.
Yeah, I mean, if they're worried about jobs, you can go to Indeed.
Too soon.
Just kidding.
Not in the break zone.
We got 9 minutes. 9 minutes.
No, yeah, I agree. I think with everything that the new networks gotta figure out to get games on the air starting October 1st with the preseason schedule and bowls games and not baseball games in October, but not in this town. But to get those ready, like there's some hard pressing things that they need to iron out, and I think the easy thing, the smart thing too, would just be as far as on-air talent and everything like that, like just keep it status quo going into the first year, and then you can kind of iron things out from there. I think it would be an odd direction to go. This is just speculation, or spitballing, but it would be an odd direction to go to be like, here's a new network and here's all new voices. Like that would be, I don't know. That'd be an interesting corner to turn.
The only thing I'd like to see upgraded might be the wrong word, but change or improve would be the former player analysis. I think that Tony Granato did a fine job, but man, I would love to see Stu Grimson. I know he's got other stuff going on. I know he's a lawyer. I know he's got NHL Network stuff, but hey, they showed with Rick Ball, like we're going to go out and get the best of the best we can get.
And Darren Pang.
Yeah. I think Stu Grimson would check
I would
that
like
box
more
too.
than a fringe NHL level player on his headphones from Michigan in his basement on the show. I'd like an upgrade from that.
Even if he just wants to be there.
Also, wants to be there, is interested in regularity too.
Right.
Like
maybe I know a guy that will be at a practice and talk to the players every once in a while.
Sure. I know with Granato, it was unforeseen health issues and he came, went through that, came back and was back on the broadcast, but just, the rotation of everything, like you'd like to have some regularity in the voices. I don't know, that from a fan's perspective, that's what I would imagine would be best to have.
Well, as we know from, I don't want to compare the two, but when CHGO launched, how quickly that came together, at least from our aspect.
Oh my God!
So the talent was the last thing handled. They got to get so many ducks in a row, broadcasting rights and secure production trucks and get all that to where the on-air talent is literally going to be the last box they check. Probably.
Yeah, I think so. What was the day we launched? March
4th.
March 4th.
2022.
I think the first time Brandon reached out to me was like the first week of February.
Yeah, you gave me a text like February 10th.
Yeah.
Hey, keep your eye open for this phone number from Denver. And I remember talking to Brandon. I was like, so when does this start? In 3 weeks. Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It came together very quickly.
Yeah. So, but I know like Brandon didn't wake up that morning and say, I'm going to start this network. It was likely
months and months.
6 months to a year of planning, but he got everything in a row. And then it was like, well, now I got to get somebody to sit in these chairs. That's probably the easiest part of putting together a network.
I would think so.
So people hate change. People fear anything out of the ordinary. Oh my God, I have to go up 3 more channels on my station.
Yeah, it's an adjustment.
So the least they could do is just keep everything else the same. Instead of going to channel 200, you go to channel 205 instead.
Oh,
I know. It's tough. We'll get through it.
It's terrible.
But keep it. And I do agree. I would like an upgrade in the studio portion of it. Keep Charlie. He's awesome. He's great. Have that former player, that analyst, the same person in studio, 82 games.
That would be wonderful.
And don't watch them for post game because we're better.
Yeah, we're on.
No matter who they
or
or
pregame for road games.
Yes,
I played a little roller hockey back in the day. So
yeah, I
play in a men's league.
Yeah,
but get it. Get some continuity where it's not. You're not switching around I know it's been tough, but as you said, they know now. They thought they could get away with tinkering and getting some new people, maybe less experienced people, because they figured, this team's going to be bad. That gives us 2, 3, 4 years to kind of work out the bugs on the fly. And then Connor Bedard showed up and was like, oh, my God, everybody's watching. We need to be better. That's why Rick Ball is here. That's why Darren Pang is here.
Yeah.
So now that they've got the in-game handled, they can focus on making the studio portion better. And the only thing I really think they need to tweak is get, if it's Kaylee Chelios the whole season, awesome. She's great.
Yeah.
Stu Crimson would be great. Maybe they find somebody who wants to do it.
Look, I don't have an issue with John Scott, but it's just that he's never there.
Well, yeah,
I think it is a challenge to find a former player who is engaging, analytical, available, and willing to do 82 games. I think it is.
You had Adam Bursch, and he did a good job.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's
but he wasn't every game. Bursch and Mayers,
Conroy was in there.
Yeah, because those guys kind of rotated as.
I think it's hard to find. If they had two former players or people within the organization or whatever that rotated, okay, that's fine. I think, but the point that you guys made, I think the engagement, wanting to be there, wanting to do it, I think is the big thing. Because if someone's there and they're just kind of phoning it in, it brings everything else down.
Well, that's and I'm not attacking John Scott's hockey knowledge, but it does look very amateurish to have a guy calling from his home office on a original 6 broadcast.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm going to wear these big shiny headphones because I'm a big goof. Haha, look at me. I want a little more seriousness. I want a little more.
Sure.
I want, as a fan, if I'm watching it, I want the people that are there giving me the information look like they actually are putting the work in. And hey, I'm around the team, and hey, I kind of have a feel for this. I'm not calling in from 400 miles away and haven't seen this team play in person once.
Look, and the other thing too is, it's a natural thing to do if you are remotely working. You're just not going to be as think about when we worked from home during COVID, right? You have distractions. You're walking around the kitchen. There's
that Simpsons
kids
episode I've seen 45 times.
Yeah,
I gotta watch it.
And I do think we should probably as a nation start working more remote, because why not? Let people do that. But it is harder to focus, especially on something where you are breaking down a 3-hour event. Right? It's different if I'm crunching numbers, entering data, doing sales, whatever. I have to be focused for every second of a 60-minute hockey game and be able to talk about it knowledgeably. And I think even if John was doing that, you get the perception that with someone being remote, that they're just not as tied in or paying as close of attention as they could. Now, if you're there at the NBC Sports Studios, everyone's watching the game together, taking notes, bouncing ideas off each other.
Yeah.
You're going to have a better broadcast that way. It's when we go to games, we feel more in touch than we do when we watch them on TV. Right. When the 3 of us are here, as opposed to remote, we feel more connected and ready to go for the show. It's natural. So I think just having whoever it is, even if it is a rotation of a few people, have them there. Have them there. And I know, again, Granato got sick. Totally understandable. Totally justifiable.
Because he was at practice at training camp, and early in the season he was around and engaged, putting in the work. But yeah, even as you mentioned, the few times we've done remote post-game shows, be it late game or New Year's Eve or whatnot, those shows kind of suck because we're watching separately. We're not really communicating as we would when we're here watching a road game. We're distracted by things going on around the house. You're not focused on it.
Not eating the same tavern style
Right.
pizza from Salerno's.
Exactly.
That's right.
We're not. It's
By the wings.
So yeah, hopefully that they get a more continuity there, so it's a better product for the fans, and that's what matters. The Blackhawk fans deserve the best possible product when watching a game.
Well, and it needs to be easy to locate, and that's where we're going to go next because the Dallas Stars are doing something very, very unique. But first, we want to tell you about our friends at Coors Light. Between work, social media, the election, and the choices life throws our way, it's no wonder we're more stressed out than ever. Coors Light celebrates rising above and choosing a chill mindset. And boy, we need a chill mindset these days. Make the choice to choose chill, then reach for a Coors Light. You know why you're going to do that. It's cold, it's delicious, takes the edge off a little bit, helps you relax, helps you chill, makes your night wonderful. When the mountains turn blue on your Coors Light can or bottle, you know that it's as cold as the Rockies and ready to drink. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. When you embrace the chill mindset, it's a good time to choose chill and crack open a Coors Light. Coors Light is mountain cold refreshment, crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rockies. Make the most out of the times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO Hockey. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
And hey, are you driven by the search for better? Well, if you're not, Indeed is for you. When it comes to hiring, the best way to search is to search for a candidate isn't to search at all. Don't search, match, and do it with Indeed. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 global monthly visitors, according to Indeed's internal data, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging so you can connect with candidates faster. And Indeed doesn't just help you hire faster. 93% of employers agree that Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites, according to a recent Indeed survey. And listeners of this wonderful show, if I do say so myself, will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/AllCity. So go to Indeed.com/AllCity right now. Support our show, the CHGO Blackhawks show, by saying you heard about Indeed on this very podcast. Indeed.com/AllCity. Again, that's where you want to go. Terms and conditions do apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Indeed, you do.
Indeed.
See what I did there?
Indubitably.
Every time we do that, I
Yeah.
just think of Omar from The Wire, Greg's favorite show, because that's one of his lines. Oh, indeed. I just think
I never watched The Wire.
God, I hate you guys. It's your weekend. All of you just watch The Wire.
No,
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'll ignore my 2.5-year-old daughter
I'll
and
do
just watch
something
The
else.
Wire.
Definitely.
She can watch The Wire.
Yeah,
She probably could
Learn about the
watch
mean
The
streets of
Wire, I
Baltimore.
guess. Yeah.
School of Hard Knocks, baby.
Yeah, that's how he learns them.
That's true.
Yellow
Yeah.
Tops.
All right, so last week, the Dallas Stars launched their new broadcast network, I guess you'd call it, Victory Plus.
Yeah.
And according to their press release, it says Victory Plus will be available for download on smart TVs, tablets, and smartphones in September of 2024, ensuring fans within the Dallas Stars regional territory, Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Arkansas, can enjoy content wherever they are on their preferred device. In a revolutionary step for sports fan engagement, gotta hate that word, the service will be offered as a free ad-supported streaming service, making it accessible without barriers and enhancing the fan experience with a low latency feed and high ad fill rate for superior viewing experience. Okay, so they're selling advertisement and giving fans the app for free. Is this something the Blackhawks, along with the Bulls and White Sox, would consider? I'm going to say probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Should they?
Well, we know that they're not because they're doing the channel. But
the release that was put out has this quote in it about CHSN, which is the new Hawks, Bulls, Sox broadcast network. The network will launch with agreements in place with traditional cable providers, streaming services, and be available via free over-the-air broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I'm deciphering that means antenna TV or similar to like a Roku channel, like a Roku app or one of those free TV channels on your TV.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how that exactly is going to work, but Marquee, if you don't have cable or one of the services that provides Marquee, they'll let you access games via their app for $20 a month. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Yeah.
Especially for a shit team.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I know that NBC Sports Chicago, you could watch games on their app, but that's as long as you had access to NBC Sports Chicago.
Yeah,
you had a TV provider. Right. Yeah. I mean, does this sound different than like let's throwing it back to like the Longhorn Network when the University of Texas had their own channel? Is this different than that? Like where is this just the Dallas Stars?
No,
doing this?
It's like this Victory Plus app is something that I think is through a parent company.
Okay.
I don't think it's going to be the only thing available on it.
But from what I understand, it's going to be all Stars content.
Yeah.
It's going to be just like Marquee.
Okay.
And maybe they find some other maybe
stuff.
they show the Texas Stars games on there. The Hawks will not have the ability. I mean, they probably could, but I wouldn't expect to see IceHogs games on this or.
I feel like that's
not
either
regularly.
You're either regional network can carry AHL games or it's AHL TV. I don't think. Yeah. I don't know if there's any NHL team that broadcasts their own AHL games.
So. But now owning your own app though, like
if you had your own thing,
I mean that would give them the ability to do that.
I think Toronto does. Oh. Toronto Marley games are like on TSN, so that's different beast.
Yeah, that'd be like
Yeah, I don't know if they would do Stars games because they're in Austin. So, I mean, that's like, what, about 200 miles between Austin and Dallas? They're not super close.
Right, yeah.
But, maybe they can simulcast the AHL feed. I don't know. But it sounds like a great idea. Everybody sees free and it's good.
Right.
We're just going to sell ads to make up for the money. Well, that makes me worried that it's going to be like, every 4 seconds, like watching Hulu, there's going to be an ad
Hulu
pop up, and it's going to like hopefully not.
Well, they can't do that during a hockey game.
Yeah, your broadcast
there's set TV timeouts.
Your broadcast only has set TV timeouts unless it's that. I don't know. You get like an ad. I don't know. While you're like a side by side through the network.
Yeah.
Where it's just like here the game's still going on, but here's
or you open the app and watch an ad.
Right, and then
before you even start to see the broadcast, this is the future though. Like, as people are cutting the cord, people are sick of paying for cable because no one really watches. The only stuff I watch live TV anymore are sports.
Yeah, but I think more people are going back to cable. To be honest,
well, because now
there's too many effing streaming.
There's too many services, and now I'll be honest,
it's more expensive.
I do pay for Xfinity because it is cheaper for me to bundle my cable and internet. I need the fastest internet I can get.
Right.
Because when we do remote shows, I can't have lag and stuff like that. So I do pay for Xfinity because it's cheaper than paying them for cable or for internet and then paying YouTube TV Live or Hulu Plus Live TV. That's, what are those, like $89 a month?
It's
for the live service. And then you're putting on 60 or 70 for internet alone.
You're paying more than you would for cable.
You're paying more.
Cable is coming back. It's like if there was only a hub where all our streaming services were in one convenient place.
I wish I could watch all those shows all at once.
That was what cable TV used to be. Thank you, Braggs. Well, I know they're doing free. We'll see if that stays. You know.
I did find the release here.
And I know it's like there's going to be no TV channel they can turn to. So I think they had to do free, at least for the first year, to get people who are like, oh my God, not on TV. I got to pay for this now. I'm not going to do it. To at least they could be like, all right, let me call my grandson. He can throw this up on my TV and show me how to do it. And I don't have to pay for it.
Call him 82 times a year plus playoffs.
And if you have garbage internet, your stream is going to be terrible.
That's true.
Right.
A little bit further here in the Dallas Stars release says the Stars will be Victory Plus's first client as it prepares to welcome additional professional sports teams in the near future. The free service will be 100% over the top. I don't know what that means. Streaming alternative for local sports broadcast with advertising as its main revenue driver.
I think that the over the top
OTT,
that's known as OTT, which is like you were saying, kind of like that that like Roku or like the Amazon
Fast Track.
whatever. Yeah. Fast channels.
Well, Jeff Cohen in the chat has a good point. Sounds like they're reinventing old school broadcast TV, free with ads, and you get it within a geographical area.
That's what TV was before.
It sounds like, oh my God, they've invented Channel 50.
I have a great idea. It'll be local. It'll have all the sports teams, and we can call it WGN.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, people ask about the Hawks if they would do something like that, and we're not that far removed from when they had
Hawk Vision.
When they were on free WGN less than 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, right.
That's true.
WGN stopped completely doing sports in 2019, but the Hawks during their height.
Good move for them, by the way.
Right. Yeah, it's worked very well.
A lot of people flock to WGN now.
Right. Hey, you got to watch Green Arrow or whatever their top show is these days.
Gossip Girl.
Good move for WGN Radio, too, getting rid of the Cubs.
Yeah, that worked out well. So, but like the Hawks in the height of their popularity during their greatest era, the Stanley Cup run, we're booting, I don't remember how many it was, but it was at least a good 8 to 10 to 12 games a year on free WGN TV. And it was huge.
Yeah, it felt like at least like if they had a Sunday game, it was always on WGN or something like that.
Yeah, they had a lot of games on WGN, and that wasn't that long ago.
Well, they understood that people, because they were so far behind and everything, they needed to catch up and make their home game experience as available to as many people as they could, as quickly as they could, which is why, was it a week after Bill Wirtz died, they made the call to get games on TV? Like, how many games can you put on quick? Like, it was immediate that Rocky did that.
They had that. He probably had that proposal written up for 5 years, just waiting for the for the flat lines to put that in motion.
Yeah.
But it was smart, and it worked, and it was really cool that they had the studio with Dan Rowan and Steve Conroy and the Xerox copied pictures of Blackhawks on the wall. Remember those? Like, quick. Put something over. Who was the guy that used to do Family Classics?
God.
Not Thurman Thomas. That was the running back.
Family Classics.
I can't help you.
The WGN guy. He was on Bozo Circus.
Fraser Thomas.
That's the guy. But it looked like that set where like they covered up the fake
wood paneling.
They covered up the fake oil painting of Bozo the Clown with a Xerox copy of Jonathan Davis' picture.
Hey man, it was on TV and it was free. Damn
it was great. And I think more teams need to do that. And the Stars are not in a position. I mean, they have made it to the Western Conference Final 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
They've got one of the best teams in the Western Conference. They can't screw this up because they're in one of those non-traditional markets. Dallas is a very good sports town. But again, if you take it away, people aren't going to go out of their ways, especially in Dallas in the winter when it's Cowboys in college football. You have to stay front and center or people will forget about you.
Yeah, and I think that's all. Your point is well made, and I think that also, honestly, the Hawks are a higher, even when the Hawks are bad, the Hawks are higher demand than the Dallas Stars.
Absolutely.
They've got more of a grip on the market here. So if you just go back to basic supply and demand, the Hawks know, like, or all these teams, again, it's a joint venture, say, we can charge for this, and we're going to make money. People are going to pay for it. People aren't just going to be like, well, no Hawks, Bulls, or Sox for me.
Yeah, people say that.
They know they're going to buy. They know they're going to buy.
How many times do we get people, in comments and chat say, "Oh, if Chris Voster's is back, I'm never watching another game." Yeah, you are. You're going to. You're going to still watch all 82 games.
Yeah.
Like, I'm never going to watch them if they're on a streaming service.
Yeah, you will.
Here you are.
Yeah, you will.
You have your ESPN Plus. You will, and they know that.
Yeah,
and they know that.
The time is now to kind of reinvent, rethink, and I think, look, asking anyone to pay $20 a month to watch an app is ridiculous. I think free is probably not going to happen here, but if it becomes an app thing for those that don't have cable or whatever, make it affordable. $10 a month?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a much easier pill to swallow for people. Like, all right, that's 2 Starbucks coffees I'm willing to sacrifice.
Do a season package. Do a season package. 82 games.
$82.
Don't even do that. Like
$1 a game.
Like, $1 a game. I think, that would seem a lot at first, but when you break it down, I don't know. I don't think we're at the point yet where we can completely ditch broadcast television.
I agree.
Because everything comes in circles. What what is old will become new again.
Right.
We see it like
90s fashion.
90s.
Laws at 84 Hawaii.
Right.
shirt.
Hey,
Bing
never
bag in
die.
Style.
People are buying vinyl again.
Yeah.
Like it's technology. As much as technology advances, people just want the comfort of what they grew up with, what they know.
I've always said that back in the day when it was like MLB TV and NHL, on open ice or whatever they call
Center
it.
ice, center
Center
ice.
ice. Thank you. Just if you want to watch a game, it's $1.
Yeah.
That's it. You want to access this game? Pay $1. Boom. Fine. And then for those that can't watch all 82, don't have to pay for the whole season. If you want to watch one game on the train on your way home or on the airplane on your way to town, $1. Boom. That's very easy. Makes it very easy for people.
It's too easy.
You know what else is easy? Not smelling like butt crack. Thanks to our friends at Mando.
if
So
my-
says you.
What if
Hey,
my,
I got my Mando on today. It smelled great.
what if my butt crack smells good though?
Well, there's
Probably
no way
put
to
some
know.
Mando on it.
Since I switched and we switched to Mando whole body deodorant, I have freed up so much time of worrying, like every now and again, like doing the pit check. Sometimes you got to do the finger swipe to make sure you're smelling okay. Or you go in the washroom and you give yourself the waft to make sure everything's okay. No longer needed. I feel
Jay just
secure.
let you know his entire pre-show routine.
That's how I get fired up for the
That's
show.
why he was in the bathroom all the time in Vegas.
Yeah. Oh my God. In Vegas, I was swimming in that stuff. Well, here's the deal. Mando does not cover up odor after the fact with heavy fragrances like certain other deodorants. It stops odor at the source by blocking the bacteria on your skin from eating your sweat, which is the actual cause of BO. What does this mean? It means Mando is clinically proven to control odor up to 72 hours. That's a long time. So give yourself the precious gift of time and get yourself some Mando whole body deodorant. New customers get $5 off Mando's best-selling starter pack with the code CHGO at shopmando.com. It is an awesome deal. Go check it out. That's over 40% off your starter pack. Use code CHGO at shopmando.com. shopmando.com. Use that code CHGO. You're going to love Mando. We do. You're going to. We promise you that.
Hey, another place that is great for your Mando is the golf course.
Yeah.
And we are less than 2 weeks away from the
12 days.
inaugural Cookout Classic, July 22nd, Monday morning.
Look at that.
St.
hot dog.
Andrews Golf and Country Club in West Chicago, 9 a.m. shotgun start.
Oh, I didn't realize the tomato slices are golf balls. Hey,
There you go.
Look at that. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, and then there's a golf club that's the size of a toothpick, which doesn't make sense to me, but that's my brain.
It's one of those tiny golf clubs.
Sure.
It's just a really big hot dog
That's true.
because it's got to feed everybody who's going to be on the golf course. That's what the lunch is.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right?
Delightful.
Yes. So, yes, join.
Look at all that John Mustard on there.
Yes.
A lot of John
A lot
Mustard.
of John Mustard, but no Bill Ketchup.
John Mustard.
Join a ton of CHGO hosts for the inaugural Cookout Classic Golf Tournament. Your entry fee will include 18 holes with a cart for a 4-person scramble, tee gift for every player, token for a complimentary Miller Lite, hole contest, giveaways, tons of prizes, plus 1 complimentary spiked Arnold Palmer per person, and a lunch and ceremony afterwards.
Okay.
And if you want 20% off that ticket to the golf outing,
Sure do.
you could become a CHGO diehard for your low yearly, cheaper than Marquee Network fee, membership
cheaper.
fee. Yes, you're going to get access to premium written content for members at allchgo.com. Not only the weekly rebuild report and Jay's Blackhawks beat, we've got Will Gottlieb's amazing Bulls coverage you're not going to find anywhere else. You got our baseball beat writers, tons of Bears information that goes behind the diehard wall. You'll be able to get it, as I mentioned, 20% off all events and merchandise. Plus, you get a free shirt of your choice when you sign up and when you renew. Like you can say, get maybe the brand new 27C Hall of Fame 24 shirt
Oh, nice.
right there.
Can't wait for mine to arrive.
Anybody who played NHL 94 needs that shirt.
Yep.
And you can get that for free by becoming a diehard, or if you're already a diehard, you get 20% off. Plus, you get access to the members-only Discord, the CHGO Lounge. That's where you get to interact with all your other favorite CHGO diehards, and you get first priority on mailbag Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
yeah.
Thursday shows. So
Hey, we finished Wednesday. Come on.
Yeah, so head on over to allchgo.com. Become a diehard today. The perks are just amazing. Plus, our love and gratitude forever. And that's
We're very
priceless.
perky around here.
Mhm.
Hey, do us a
Used to
favor
be.
while you're here, by the way. Why don't you smash that like button for us? Give us a like spike here in 3, 2, 1. Hammer that like button. We would appreciate that. You know, something I've noticed when we talk about this stuff, a lot of people don't like ESPN Plus.
I don't get that. to
What
be
am I
honest with
missing? What I don't
I
understand
think
what the frustration is.
I think if you're dependent on it, you're more exposed to the frustrations of it. Because I don't know. Anytime that I've had to watch something because it was on not locally, like I had to like go to ESPN Plus for it. I don't know. It's not the greatest.
People hate
you'd rather
that,
you'd rather have a regional broadcast.
There's like one ad they run over and over, right?
Oh yeah,
Right, that's
yeah,
annoying as
that's
hell,
the annoying.
but-
That's the
yeah.
other annoying thing. Any ad commercial that's just like, oh, here's the same 15
It's like they're
second
looping
loop
proprietary
of, like,
promo
yeah.
for it. I'm
But-
already watching it. I don't need your promo.
Yeah.
But I loved when ESPN Plus just said, "Hey, by the way, we have all the hockey games for you, and it's only $7.99 a month, as opposed to the $150 it was for the
Right.
center ice package." Like, you know, it's to me it's convenient, but then again, we don't need to depend on it for every Blackhawks game. So I'm
Well, no,
sure there
but,
are I'm
regional
sure there
stuff is
are
blacked out.
Right. So I'm sure there are reasons, to dislike it. But for me, it's like, oh, the Blackhawks game is over. I can watch the Oilers or the Flames or the
Right.
Canucks. I can watch one of these West Coast games, or it's the Blackhawks aren't playing tonight and we've got a night at home and I'm going to go watch whatever the marquee. And it was a service I was already paying for.
Yeah.
And then I
right.
don't have to pay the $150 NHL TV. So for
Right.
me, it was convenient, but I can understand if you got to watch every one of your team games. Like, say you're a Blackhawks fan that doesn't live in Chicago. I'm sure things can get annoying at times.
Yeah, but I think the only way they're blacked out then is if you're within the Blackhawks broadcast region or it's airing nationally. So if it's a ESPN or TNT game, then you wouldn't get it. But otherwise, what are they on, like 15 times a year on national TV, whatever it might be?
Yeah.
The remainder of the games would be available on ESPN Plus. If I'm not mistaken, I'll say the frustration I've had though is like I've got ESPN Plus. This actually came up a lot with Athletes Unlimited softball this spring. Is if it was on ESPN2 or ESPNU, and I had ESPN Plus, it wouldn't even turn on there, and it was kind of like, okay, like this is where I usually consume this, so just if it's on the U and I already have a subscription, let me watch it on the app. That's a little bit clunky, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's no perfecting any of this. It's just
You have too many, licensing deals and sponsorships, and that's what makes it complicated. But like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like someone young needs to like go into these boardrooms and be like, here's how we fix this. Because I ran into this in radio. Is like a lot of the executives are older, and I'm 46. I'm raising my hand. Like I'm among that age group that maybe just don't have an understanding of how it's consumed these days and how to make it better. Because you come from this old school TV or radio train of thought, and it's hard to think outside that box. So I'd love for someone to just figure it out. There's got to be a way. Yeah,
and there's a lot of other cool stuff on ESPN Plus besides the hockey. There's a lot of college hockey on as well, but there's also tons of college sports. If you love college basketball, ESPN Plus has got any game you pretty much want. Lots of college sports, lots of college football. So it also kind of gives you that, hopefully you're getting some eyeballs on the sport that normally wouldn't watch it if you're, a basketball fan or whatever, flipping through on a random night and go, oh, there's a hockey game. Let me check out this Connor McDavid guy or this Austin Matthews guy that people keep talking about. So
see, Joshua says all Hawks games are blacked out for me because I live in the region 2 hours away from Chicago. But I assume if you paid for cable, you would get the Hawks games, right?
I would think, right.
if he's outside the area
or whatever live TV service, YouTube TV, Hulu Plus Live, whatever
think.
it might be.
You would think, yeah.
I don't know.
But honestly, the blackout rules are really stupid and don't make
They
any
are
sense.
Well, the baseball ones are
The baseball
worst.
ones are literally the worst.
They are dumb. It's chaotic. It's archaic.
Like
it's
someone lives in
caveman stuff.
like in Dubuque, Iowa. They're like triangulated. Like don't get any Chicago teams, the Brewers or Kansas City or St. Louis. And it's like, what are you doing?
I was in Nashville on vacation, and it was a rainy day, and the Cubs were playing the Braves, and I couldn't watch it on MLB TV. Because it was like I guess I was within the Braves
blackout region.
But I'm like, well, where's the game on TV? And it wasn't on.
Yeah.
So anyway,
thanks MLB.
We're beating a deceased horse. So yeah, I hope they figure it out. I really do.
Yes, every game of every sport of every league should be easily, readily available to any fan who wants to watch it, no matter where they live.
The NFL gets it.
Like there should be like. That's why they're the most popular league in the world. You know, it's because they make it easily accessible. And even when they are on an Amazon Prime game, they make it available in the locally for free for those people. Like, you know, anytime for years, anytime the Bears were on ESPN, it was simulcast on Channel 7 here locally, so people without cable could still watch.
You get your Gene Greco doing a pregame show.
They still do that.
Yeah. They like it's always available.
Yeah.
That's smart. So all these leagues, like I don't understand why you're restricting people from consuming your product. It seems counterproductive.
Yeah. All right. Should we? We did a little more of this than I expected. Do we want to get into the Dom Decision Scott Power stuff, or do we want to talk about Cap Friendly and get into the other stuff tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean,
Cap Friendly's dead.
We kind of already did. We kind of already covered Cap Friendly. What's really to say?
Thank you for your services. Enjoy your paycheck.
It was
from
a great
the Washington Capitals.
It was a great resource. The guys who ran that site worked their asses off.
Yeah, they did.
They got rewarded handsomely for their work, and the Washington Capitals suck.
Theoretically, they got. We'll have no. There is no Cap Friendly for how much they got paid
I
for
want that public record. I want to know how much they got paid.
Maybe now they'll figure out how to use it.
Yeah.
All right. So today, Dom Decision of The Athletic, who is their analytics guru, one of their many, but probably the main one, I would say.
The biggest chart
I'd say he's their main guy.
At least I will say, though, unlike other people, his charts are at least readable.
Yeah, you can follow along and
not just gobbledygook.
Understand what's being presented.
My favorite thing about those
here's
other
a random
graphs,
spirograph I drew with my child's toy.
My favorite thing about the other ones are the people who are like, oh, yes, fascinating. You have no idea what this graph says, you lying ass
liar. The guy who created it is just like, I'm going to see how much I control these assholes.
Yeah. All right, so Dom Decision today for The Athletic published which NHL teams have improved the most this offseason, rating all 32 teams. There's a headline. Number 1 on the list is your Chicago Blackhawks with a net rating added of plus 51.
Plus 51 points? Nice.
That'd be nice. Key additions.
Playoffs, baby.
Tyler Bertuzzi, Teuvo Teravainen, Ilya Mikheyev, Pat Maroon, Alec Martinez, TJ Brody, Laurent Brossoit. Key departures, Taylor Radish, Tyler Johnson, Mackenzie Entwistle, and Nikita Zaitsev. Somehow all Florida Panthers. The Blackhawks got rid of a whole lot of flotsam, addition by subtraction, while adding 2 top 6 forwards, a top 9 forward, 2 actual NHL caliber defensemen, and a goalie with stellar numbers. Yeah, they're going to be a lot better next year and are the easy choice for this summer's most improved team. Yeah. Chicago will still be a bad team, but won't be an unwatchable mess whenever Connor Bedard is on the bench. That's a big win for the next phase of the team's build and Bedard's future. He deserves more support to foster his growth as the NHL's next big thing. So that sounds great, right?
Sounds
yes,
wonderful.
They could be the most improved team and still only have 80 points.
Bingo. Because then Dom and our pal Scott Powers got together and put together a little bit of a projection too. Despite their jump in net rating with these moves, that's definitely something. But here's the sobering part for Blackhawks fans. Chicago was so bad last year that a cumulative minus 37 rating, which would be their new rating for their team, would still put it among the 5 worst teams in the NHL. A 0 rating is the league average, and a plus 16 is the 8th seed in the Western Conference. Of course, the Blackhawks could be better than the projection. We'll see what a healthy Taylor Hall can do.
Yeah.
The Blackhawks had to be hopeful. Players like Andreas Athanasiou and Lucas Reichel are better than what the model projects for them, What does Bedard do in his second year? Maybe he's even better than expected. But even if everything goes right for the Blackhawks, the reality is they're probably still not a playoff team and are looking at another early draft pick in 2025. They'll likely take that step Davidson sought, but it might not be as massive as some fans hoped.
That sounds completely
Sounds like
accurate.
yesterday's show.
Yes. It's hard to argue with that. And granted, Dom likes to go by the numbers and the averages and the projections, and all that's fine and good. And those can be fairly accurate, but they could also be skewed. Guys can have career years, but a 30-point improvement would likely be the most improved team in the NHL by a lot. And you're still 20 points out of a playoff spot. That's how bad it was last year. So we talked yesterday a lot about, can they be a playoff team? You need literally everything to go right and exceed expectations for that to happen. You need a lot to go wrong with some other teams. But if this is a 75 to 80-point team, that is a huge victory for this franchise.
Yep.
They should be. They're better offensively. They're better defensively. They're better in goal. Like, the recipe is there to get a lot more points than last year, win more games, get more games overtime, and pick up the loser point. They should be improved with health. Like, last year's team was not built to be a 52-point team. Last year's team was built to be a 70-point team-ish, around there, 65 to 70 points. And then it all fell apart in January and February when nobody was healthy. As long as they can avoid that, this should be a much better team. But playoffs, no. Highly unlikely.
Based off of this model here, this is giving the Blackhawks the 31st ranked offense in the NHL.
I think they'll be better than that.
Are they the third? Are they the second worst offensive team in the
That does
NHL,
not seem
even on
right.
paper?
But again, I think what that's doing is really limiting Reichel and Hall.
Yeah, they're
basing on last year's
If you're going
production.
off of last year, where Athanasiou, Hall, and Reichel were all non-factors, Hall and Athanasiou because of injury, Reichel because of
forgetting how to play hockey.
Yeah, like deciding not to, continue to get better. I don't know. I don't look at Bertuzzi, Bedard, Teravainen, Kurashev, Hall, and then you throw in Jason Dickinson up there, Nick Foligno. Like, I don't know. I don't look at that and say that is the second to worst offensive options out there, and add in Seth Jones on the back end too. Like, I don't know. I don't just on paper it doesn't feel to me. And feeling and analytics are two different things, but it just doesn't feel to me like that is the second worst offensive team in the league.
All right, you get Taylor Hall for
60 plus games.
That would be that'd be great. Not a miracle, but it'd be great. It would kind of also be a miracle. That'd be great. Lucas Reichel returns to form and gets 20 goals this year.
If Lucas Reichel can get 20 points, that's an upgrade.
It is, but they need more than that.
I know.
If Lucas Reichel gets 20 points this year, I'm shipping his ass out of town the first chance I get. Here's something we have.
For the record, last season, 16 points in 65 games for Lucas Reichel.
Yeah, it is an improvement, but it's still bad.
Yes.
Terrible.
Here's a thought that, to factor in, is it going to be the second to worst offensive? What if Kevin Korchinski's offensive game all of a sudden takes off?
Yeah.
And we see that. I think year 2, we're going to see him be more aggressive because not everything's coming at him so fast. He's now got a little of experience. He'll have a better defensive partner out there, hopefully, for much of the year.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he can focus more. Not everything's going to be so, like, crazy. Oh, my God, everything is new. I don't want to screw up defensively. I can't let my team down because we don't score any goals.
Yeah.
So I can't give up any goals. So I think this year we may see a jump. Maybe Kevin Korchinski's a guy that gives you 30 points from the blue line, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, I could see why they picked him 7th overall.
I'm looking at this projection, and the Hawks have 4 players on our projected roster that are plus offensive players. Bertuzzi a +5, Bedard a +12, Taylor Hall's a +1, Seth Jones is a +3. Teravainen and Kurashev are 0.
All right.
Sure.
I don't understand those.
But what does that mean?
Right,
That's the
exactly.
thing. What does +3 even effing mean?
Is it above replace? It's got to be above replacement.
It's above replacement.
Okay, but what above?
But how is
replacement?
Teuvo Teravainen a replacement level offensive
He's
player?
not.
That it's absurd.
Yeah, so I don't know what those numbers are great. Oh, they're a -31 and a +16. Okay, that is ancient Greek to me because I don't know what those numbers mean. Explain what those numbers are.
Yeah.
So Teuvo Teravainen is being league average? I don't think that's fair at all.
It's a, as it is said here, it's a percentile relative to the role. So Teuvo Teravainen.
Okay, so
that's-
is a
what-
top
so what
line
it's
right
saying
winger?
as Teuvo Teravainen as a top line right winger is right
Is
it right
by
in the
definition
middle
top line right
He's
winger?
right
an
in the
average
middle
top line. Okay, that I can.
of
So
of-
Tyler Bertuzzi is a +5 first line left winger.
That's what it says. Would you believe Connor Bedard is a +12 percentile of first line center? I mean, to me that makes sense.
Is that a projection? See, the other thing too is this based on what they did last year, or is it a projection based on what they think is going to happen? Because I don't know how you look at Teuvo Teravainen playing with +12 Connor Bedard and +5 Tyler Bertuzzi and say, yeah, he's going to be a
I mean,
replacement level.
you can't project anything with those guys playing together because there's no data for that.
Sure.
Because if you do that, then you're just pulling out of thin air for nothing. I think this is going off of what they did last year in maybe similar roles. And Bertuzzi's probably inflated because he played with Matthews and Marner.
Yeah.
And Bedard, he as a +12 is wonderful, but he also played with almost no top line NHL talent around him. And Teravainen last year was second line in Carolina.
Up
So
and
now
down,
you're moving
yeah.
him up to
right.
you're moving up his production as a second line player up to
I
first
can
line.
understand that with that explanation that Teuvo could be an average first line right winger. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Calling him just an average player overall is a little
That doesn't seem
but
right.
an average first line right winger, okay,
Sure.
I can buy that. And if that's what he turns out to be, then that's pretty good.
Like for Taylor Hall.
That's an upgrade.
Taylor Hall is a +1 offense, +1 offensively, -1 defensively, and a net 0 as a second line left wing. So Taylor Hall is a second line left wing average NHL player.
Okay.
I believe that.
Yeah, okay. That now
So I think that's how you kind of grade it out as.
By the way, looking here at the most common 5-on-5, 5 versus 5 line mates for Tyler Bertuzzi last year, number 1 was Max Domi, number 2 Austin Matthews, number 3 Mitch Marner, and then it's a huge drop down with a bunch of defensemen to Tavares, Nylander, and Holmberg.
Yeah. So he played mostly
Mostly with Domi and Matthews.
Yeah. And Domi had a solid season.
Yes, he did.
So
Yeah. Before we wrap things, Lance had a question I want to answer for him in the chat a little bit up about if the Blackhawks can give Lev Shunov a 9-game trial. That is for junior players.
Yeah.
So if you're playing in the OHL or any CHL
his
teams,
contract kicked in.
yeah, he
he
can
signed
come
it.
up as many times. He's a Blackhawk or IceHog. Like, so those are guys that would be like, hey, next year, say Nick Lardis looks really great in training camp. You want to give him 3 or 4 games before sending him back? That's where the 9-game thing, so you don't burn a year. Once you get past that, but the clock is already ticking on Lev Shunov, regardless if he plays 1 game or all 82 in Rockford.
He's already
His contract is already going. Will burn the first year of that deal off this year, and they can bring him up and down as often as they want. There's no limit to any kind of moves. He doesn't have to clear waivers,
Right.
all that stuff. He can bounce as many times as he wants. Yeah, so that doesn't apply to when you're already officially a pro.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure I speak for a lot of people here. I just can't wait to get the season started because they are going to be so much more watchable.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we said that last year, like, oh man, Connor Bedard is going to be must-see TV, and he was. Like every game, there were 1 or 2 moments where you're like, holy shit, whoa, that was something.
The line from Dom there that said that they won't be completely unwatchable when Bedard is on the bench.
Yes.
That's 100% accurate.
I mean, just think of those weeks he missed
Yes.
Oh my God.
We watched
Jan-
because we got
January and early February.
we
was
watched
a tough
because we were
stretch.
getting paid to.
Yeah.
I question anybody who was doing that for free.
That was rough.
It was some of the worst NHL hockey I've ever seen.
It was absolutely abysmal. But yeah, they're going to be better. They're going to be more entertaining. And also, like, again, we talked about this yesterday a little bit. Like, Rockford's going to be super fun to watch too, because they had a few guys last year that were important and meaningful, but now it's like almost the entire roster. You can kind of envision
At least half of it
being in the NHL at some point.
At least half of it. I mean, things have changed in Rockford. They're not they were an afterthought for a lot of the Heels should not be named era. They were like, okay, as soon as they score a goal down there, get them up to Chicago. Like, there was not long-term development.
Unless your name is Brandon Peary or Jeremy Morin.
Well, don't be peens. And I don't think Jeremy Morin's a peen, but
I just went back to look at a Blackhawks lines and pairings tonight versus the San Jose Sharks.
Oh,
this
God.
is January 16th. Pitlick, Kurashev, Radish is your top line.
woof. That should be a
Blackwell,
third line on an AHL team.
Blackwell, Dickinson, Anderson, line 2. Third line of Reichel, Entwistle, Gutman. Kachuk, Sanford, Donato is your fourth line.
Good Lord.
Vlasic, Jones, Tenorti, Megna,
Oh,
Korchinski, Zaitsev, and Mrazek in net.
poor Peter
All right, boys,
Mrazek.
go get them.
I think they won that game,
Jesus.
too.
It
didn't they?
was Sharks.
Sharks.
You know, but oof.
That's
like,
not good. I don't
man.
ever want to see that. I don't want to ever see that
Holy
again.
smokes.
Like that's awful. That's when we like the remember when. Hopefully,
Yeah.
in another year or two, when we do our pregame show for our first postseason game with the Blackhawks, we should bring up some of those lines and be like, "Remember when?
Holy
Yeah.
smokes.
Remember when
Oh,
Jujar
I have that
Kara-
file somewhere.
Well,
Jujar Kara
remember when
played
Jujar Kara was on
power
the
play.
second power play? Remember when Mackenzie Entwistle was getting top power play time? Like,
someone had to.
these are things. These are real things. And I can't wait till we can look back on those and be like, oh my God, that feels like so long ago. We should chuckle about it on our pregame show ahead of the first Blackhawks playoff game.
You want one from the
Yes.
day Jake McCabe and Sam Lafferty were traded. Patrick Kane was sitting out before the Rangers trade. So this 2 seasons ago. Your first line was Domi, Cini, Athanasiou, Gutman, Radish, Johnson, Dickinson, Gus, Blackwell, Kara, Anderson, Kachuk, Seth and Caleb, Tenorti and Murphy, England and Mitchell was your
Oh,
yeah.
third
Christ.
pair.
Andreas Anglin. Yeah.
Andreas Englund, the guy
Ian
with the
Mitchell.
thickest,
There you go.
biggest neck in the NHL.
Here's the day of the Max Domi trade. Reichel, Athanasiou, Kurashev, Gutman, Johnson, Radish, Dickinson, Cini, Gus, Kara, Kachuk, Anderson, D. Pairs, Phillips, and Caleb Jones, England and Seth Jones, Tenorti and Murphy.
That's not good.
Boy.
That's how you got Connor. That's how you got Connor Bedard.
Boy. Well,
Weeks.
I'm glad that, knock on wood, this season there should be no lineup that resembles anything like those.
You would hope not. And if there is, the injury bug has struck again.
If the injury bug, well, and that's the thing. If the injury bug hits that hard, then it's just like, I mean, sure, you might have to go the route that they did last year, where it's just like, okay, here's a waiver claim on somebody.
But they shouldn't have to
Or,
see that.
right, they shouldn't have to. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, if it gets that bad, where it's just like Pat Maroon is second line right wing, then it's just like, well, you got a bunch of kids in Rockford.
Yeah, now you got guys that can call up and actually
you can
trust
bring
to
up,
play.
Right.
like, you're not bringing up, not ready Colton Dock. You're bringing up a Colton Dock who's had 2
Right.
AHL seasons. You're
Or
bringing up
Slaggert or
Slaggert, who's
yeah.
played in the NHL.
Right.
Frank Nazar, who probably should play in the NHL before the end of this season. Like, it's not, you're not just throwing out random guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's young players that, should be able to step into the NHL soon.
Referee 583 says, shout out from New Jersey to
Hey.
the CHGO guys. I just got back from 6 nights in Chicago from going to the NASCAR street race and White Sox games.
Nice. Fun.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
Thanks, referee. Appreciate
And he
that,
says
man.
we're way better off in Chicago than New York City. You're
Agreed.
god darn right,
Hey,
referee
there we
583. Screw New York City.
100%. 100%.
Hate
By the
that
way,
place.
talking about these are the non-roster forwards for the Blackhawks right now, according to Puckpedia.
Our new friends.
My new first bookmark on my
Yeah.
Google Chrome app. Nazar, Slaggert, Ludwinski, Lardis, Sorella, Ralston, Miziak, Hayes, Lipin, Savoy, Doc, Sanford, Sini, Gutman, Pitlick. These guys need contracts. Pitlick, Gus, and Tepley.
And they're all heading out.
Yeah. So there you go. I mean, that's
it.
Most of the only one I would say is like not really at all in the NHL plans, and maybe is a little bit of Sorella. Doesn't feel like it.
No, I don't know what his future is. I don't think there's a lot of NHL in it.
He's going to need to make a big jump this year.
Yeah.
He's got speed. It just last year was his first year in North America. Didn't see any of that scoring touch. So yeah, I would say he's like the new Michael Tepley.
Probably.
Kind of there. Maybe if you squint real hard and if everything goes right, but he needs to make a big jump this year or he's probably going back to Europe forever.
And I know Lardis is going back to the OHL, or the plan is for him to go back to the OHL. I don't know about Mishak, if he's going to go back to the OHL or stay in Rockford. I can't say for certain on that, but that might be something that in training camp we find out. But as far as
we
Rockford,
got seven or eight guys that you'd feel pretty comfortable calling up.
Oh yeah,
and saying maybe some contributions from them too, not just placeholders.
Getting some young guys in Rockford is good. I know yesterday Jackson Cates re-signed. Today Marcel re-signed an AHL contract. So there's a guy that is probably going to play in Indy and can come up to Rockford. Young forward that everyone loves in the fan base, and the organization is still trying to figure out what his development path is. But yeah, I mean, Rockford's roster is coming together, and they're going to be young and exciting. So, should be good. Good times.
Can't wait. Let's drop the damn puck. I'll fast forward July, August. Nothing's going on there.
Oh, and we know Rockford's home opener, October 12th. Home opener against Grand Rapids.
Hawks play that night?
I don't know. The full NHL schedule is out, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think they do.
If they don't,
I think they play the 11th in Winnipeg, and I think they're off the 12th, so we might have to.
Let's see.
Go check on the Piggies.
I got it right here. October 12th. Yep, they play at Edmonton.
Okay. Disregard.
That won't work.
Darn. Disregard.
Oh, well. We'll get out there. We'll be there.
Yeah,
all right.
We'll be out there.
Let's wrap things up. Thanks for being with us. If you have not smashed the like button already, please do it really quick before we log off. We'll be back tomorrow at 2:30. We can do a top 10 Thursday tomorrow?
Yeah, what the hell? Sure. We may have to. I'm just waiting to hear if our topic has already been decided.
Well, you asked at 9:30, so we'll should get a response any moment now.
Yeah. So maybe we'll put together two lists, and if we need to do that one, we'll do that one, and then we'll do the other one next week or vice versa. So plan on doing two lists tonight.
Sounds wonderful. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow at 2:30. Thanks for hitting that like button for us. We'll talk to you on Thursday. Have a great day. Thanks for watching the CHGO Blackhawks Podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.